Hey folks, Alex here from 9 to 5 to Freedom. This is going to be a quick video getting a deep dive on what happens to your dividend if you hold margin. Now, I published a video just a few days ago that really had a lot of traction, really helped me get a boost on this channel, and that's this: how to live out a brokerage account. So the questions I'm getting in the comments, and really this is what I'm trying to address here, is how do you get your dividend if you hold things on margin, and what happens, right? So this is my portfolio for those who are new to this, but basically I have a lot of these high yield dividend ETFs. You can check them out, read about them. And right now my account, and right here, so this is $114,247. This is what I have on margin, meaning this is what I'm borrowing from the broker. So the broker is lending me this money at right now 6.375%. Think of it as a mortgage. If you buy your house, you're going to put some of your own money down and you're going to finance the rest at a fixed rate for 30 years. Now, with the way that the broker works is you basically only pay an interest. So your principal never goes down unless you throw money at it. So 114,247 times 0.06375, that's my interest rate. So every year holding this position costs me $7,283. Now, if I divide by 12, that's roughly about $600 a month. Now, you might think that's a lot of money, but considering how much we're getting in dividends, it's very chump change. And that's the whole point of this. Think about it this way. If you can make 30% on your dividends and you have to pay 6% in interest, well, what is the percentage that you're making? You're making 24%. And that's really arbitraging and utilizing the money. I've done very similar things by buying real estate. So I bought rental properties by using the bank's money, and the rents that I'm getting from my tenants are covering the principal payment, the interest payment, and it's also putting money in my pocket. And the value of my homes are growing. So that's this very similar concept. Obviously, the game is a little bit different because with what you're investing in can fluctuate, and if you have very risky investments, you can get a margin call if they dump down a lot. So you want to be very cautious of that as well. Now, what happens when you get a dividend? So this morning I received a dividend from MSTY and SMCY. These are two yield max dividend paying ETFs. So if I go into dividend view, if I go to activity and orders, okay, so right here, I received $3,297 from MSTY, and I got $354 from SMCY. And on the third, I actually got QDT $356 and $256 from XDT. So did this money go into my account? No, it did not. But where did it go? Well, it actually went against the margin. So if you look at, I just did a video on what I got this week. So I got $4,200 in dividends, right? So previous on Monday, if you look at my previous videos, I had another $4,000 basically more on margin. So I was sitting at negative 118,000. So what happened was once I got this dividend, it lowered my margin amount. Now, obviously the question then becomes, well, how do you actually live off these dividends? Well, and I didn't understand this either earlier this year, honestly. And then it clicked for me. Well, you live based on borrowing from your margin. So what the brokers allow you to do is you could actually withdraw money on margin. So if you need to go pay your taxes, or you need to go, buy a car, whatever you want to do. Now you want to do it smart, obviously, but I can go ahead and I can do a transfer right in here into my, to my checking account, and I can transfer money into it. And basically you're borrowing that money at 6.375%. And every time you get your dividends, they're going to pay down that loan. So you want to live on 6% while you want to make 30, 40, 50, or even 70%, if that makes sense. So the goal is obviously to live below your means. So you don't want to outspend the income. Just like if you have a paycheck from your employer, you don't want to spend more than what you make. So that's kind of the rough explanation here, and hopefully that helped clarify some confusion. So basically, what happens, right? So if I don't withdraw anything and I continue to get dividends every single week, this account, it's going to grow in value by the margin reducing. So my value, let's say the stocks don't fluctuate at all. My money is going to be at 161,931, but this margin, this what I'm borrowing, is going to continue to reduce. Now you got to think of it as total value, right? So the assets that you're holding, kind of like a house, you have a mortgage and you have your own principal, what you put into it. When you go sell the house, you're going to pay um, the the bank off, and then you're going to keep the rest. So as of this morning, the value of this account is $276,000 and 178 bucks. And if this margin continues to go down, let's say this is down to $50,000, well, if I sell every single position in here, that means that 226,000 bucks will be my own money. And you won't see it here, but you'll see it once you sell these assets. So I hope that makes sense. But that's really the game. You're arbitraging a lower interest rate to live off of, while you're allowing your dividends to pay down that margin and to accelerate the process. So I hope that made sense. Please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, and have a great holiday, folks.